Johnny and Susie were best friends. They were always planning mischief to wind up their teachers, always plotting some new adventure. They both had very with-it parents, the sort who didn't keep any secrets from their children and always answered their questions fully, however awkward those answers might be. Then came the day when Susie rushed in to her dad and asked, "Where do I come from?" So Dad took a deep breath and explained it all as best he could. Finally, he asked Susie if she had any questions. She looked at him quizzically before replying, "No, I knew all that. It's just that Johnny said he comes from Blackpool." It's very easy to miss the point, to answer the question before us without really getting to the heart of the matter. On Saturday, the church celebrated the Feast of the Assumption, the joyful remembrance that Mary, at the end of her life on earth, she who bore Jesus in her womb, was carried to be with him in heaven. Much has been said and much has been misrepresented about the place of Mary in the Christian faith. Consequently, some Christians have pushed her to the margins, failing to see that she points us to the way of Christ. As Mary remembered where it all started, when the angel appeared to her, a young girl in Nazareth, she must have marvelled at how everything had unfolded, just as she had been told it would. There she had been, just sitting having 5 minutes to herself, when this angel appeared from nowhere to tell her that she had found favour with God and was going to have a baby. Well, that's all very well, but it's not the angel who'll have to face the neighbours, go down to the market, tell Joseph. What's he going to say? Even if he believes her, the neighbours certainly won't. Can you picture the scene? A heavily pregnant, unmarried girl trying to convince them of what had happened. No, honestly, it's not what you think. There was this angel, and he told me I was going to have a baby. But this was no ordinary baby. This was going to be God's son. No, actually, I'm a virgin. You can imagine the looks, withering, cynical, disbelieving. You can hear the gossip. Who's she kidding? She's no better than she ought to be. But of course, she wasn't kidding. This was real life, and what she started with the angel was not going to go away. So what did it mean for her? She could have said, "No, I'm not the one you want. I'm too busy, too ordinary, just about to get married. Anyway, I'm not that kind of girl." It must have crossed her mind, but she didn't say no. In fact, she said yes. And that's the first thing Mary can teach us: obedience. Mary's obedience was total. Once she'd said yes, that was that. She went off to see her cousin Elizabeth, the one who was pregnant with John the Baptist, and they presumably shared some of the pain and heartache of childbearing. But mostly they shared their joy. Mary even broke into the song we now know as Magnificat. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. Words of joy, words of expectation, words of hope, words of realism. She had no illusions about this being easy, but her song was one of faith, hope, and love. Can we sing her song and make it our yes to God? Mary didn't want anything for herself. Her life was bound up with the life of Jesus. She knew frustration, that time when he stayed in the temple and had them all frantic with worry as they searched for him. She welcomed him back and said no more because she loved him. She who had borne God in her womb knew that without God she was nothing, but with him there were so many possibilities. Her quiet acceptance enabled her to give her life back to God. She bore him not only in her womb, but in her heart, and showed him in her life of patient, gentle, loving acceptance of every trial and sorrow, of every hope and fear. Mary teaches us humility. Can we show the same patience, gentleness, and love? Can we go out confidently to face the changes and chances of life, knowing that we are open to God, trusting that God will show us the way? Of course, Mary could have said no. She could have sent the angel away and got on with her life. What if she had done? What would have come of God's plan? Well, that's all idle speculation, because she didn't say no. The question is, what if we say no? Or more importantly, what if we say yes? The Annunciation happened once when Mary received that message from God through the angel. But Annunciations happen every day as God comes to us, walks alongside us, addresses us, and shows his love for us, longing for us to say yes. The excuses are still there, but so too are the possibilities. If we answer with humility and openness, if we say yes to God, then he offers us his new life of terrifying demand and transforming eternal joy. And Mary said, "I am the handmaid of the Lord. Let what you have said be done to me." And what shall we say? Let's not miss the point, but let us reply, "We are your servants, Lord. Let what you have said be done to us." Amen.